Hi, folks. The Lord has had me this week in Ecclesiastes 3, and I wanted to read it to you very quickly and just share with you my whole revelation of what God has given me on seasons and the seasons in my life. And I know folks are going through a lot of stuff, and sometimes you feel overwhelmed, and rightfully so. But I just want to read this scripture to you, okay? It's a little lengthy, so stay with me, all right? For everything there is a season, for every activity under the sun. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to harvest. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to tear down and a time to build up. A time to cry and a time to laugh. A time to grieve and a time to dance. A time to scatter stones and a time to gather stones. A time to embrace and a time to turn away. A time to search and a time to quit searching. A time to keep and a time to throw away. A time to tear and a time to mend. A time to be quiet and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. A time for war and a time for peace. Seasons are so important for us to understand. There are times that you feel like you're in a season that you're going to die. Nothing is going to flourish in that season. But God, you've heard me say this to you, God always has a plan for you, okay? And Ecclesiastes is just sharing with us that everything that we go through is meant to be. It's normal. It was a part of God's plan. And I have to tell you that in the seasons that have been the hardest for me have been the seasons that I have drawn the closest to God. It has been the seasons where I have seen God's faithfulness in my life. And I encourage you today, whatever you're going through, don't just feel like I'm going to be stuck here forever. Because it's just a season, and it's just something that you need to go through at this very moment, at this very time. So I say to you today, just think that there is a time and a season for everything that you're going through. Every single thing. And I encourage you to read Ecclesiastes 3, because you will be blessed and be encouraged by the words that come and say, you know what? When you think of having a loss, whatever kind of loss it could be, a loss of a relationship, a loss of health, a loss of a physical person, there is a time to grieve, there's a time to mourn, but there's a time to also celebrate everything that they gave to us in life. There is also a time to be just appreciating what God is doing in our lives. Even if those times are hard. Even if those times are hard, you always appreciate what God is doing in your life. I pray that this blesses you today, that it encourages you, and that you learn to appreciate the seasons in your life. Don't walk away from them bitter. Don't walk away from them feeling like, why the heck did that happen? Because God always has a plan. God always has a purpose. And as you know, as Jeremiah 29:11 says, His plans are not to hurt you or harm you, but to do good and give you a hope and a future. And your future, regardless of how you may feel like you're in a pit because you're in this horrible season, God has a plan for you. And God has a plan to take you out of that season in due time. And things will turn around. And you will see where there is mourning, there'll be dancing. Okay? and just all the good things that can come from being in a season of whatever hardship it may be and you're going through. So I love you. Have a wonderful weekend. And I pray that you are blessed. And always remember, keep your eyes on the Lord. He is the author and perfecter of our faith. And He will get you through whatever you're going through. Trust me. God bless.